stated that this conference is held and certain details are shared with the public at large. Since after the offence was committed on 4th, wherein it led to unfortunate death of 14 people, the suo motu FIR was registered initially at Visit Police Station. Subsequently, on 5th of December, government constituted a special investigation team, which was headed by Shri Limasanat Zamir, IPS IGP range, as the Chief Investigating Officer. And in that order, Ms. Rupa, DIG CID, Manoj Kumar, SP Crime, and 2 more officers were included, with the option that as and when required, the SIT can co-opt more officers. In that order, the government had asked the SIT to complete its investigation within 1 month and submit its report. As a result of that SIT, the case initially which was registered in Visit Police Station was transferred to State Crime Police Station in Kohima, and a new FIR was registered under section 302, 307 and 34 IPC. While conducting the investigation, as we went into the investigation, we co-opted more officers, and ultimately SIT was made up of 21 officers, which included IGP range as Chief IO, 1 DIG rank officer, almost 4 SP rank officers, 2 deputy commandants, and so on and so forth, including 4 officers from Konya community. In order to conduct the investigation in a professional manner, which will cover all aspects of the offence and which will also go into all details of how the operation was conducted by the army, the circumstances of conducting the operations, etc. The SIT was further divided into 8 teams, out of which 4 teams were given the task of examination of witnesses, the injured victims at various places, be it at Mon, Dimapur, Dibrugarh, the other witnesses in the forms of doctors, villagers, etc. 1 team was tasked with the responsibility of cyber and technical analysis of available technical and electronic evidences. 1 team at Police Headquarters, under the supervision of DIG CID, was tasked with compilation of the documents. As you can understand, there will be a lot of documentation, and since it's a legal procedure, documentation is essential. 1 team was asked to purely study the scene of crime, reconstruct the crime that had occurred, collect the material exhibits and evidences from the scene of crime, compile it and send it for forensic analysis. And 1 team was tasked with the task of coordinating with various forensic science laboratories, be it Central Forensic Science Laboratory or be it NEDIC in Kohima. So this way we started our investigation and the procedure. In last 1 month, more than 1 month, the SIT has visited the scene of crime on multiple occasions. In fact, 1 team under 1 SP SP rank officer, was tasked to stay there for almost more than 15-20 days and to examine and study the entire scene of crime from multiple angles, collect the evidences, reconstruct the events, simulate the various possibilities in which the crime would have taken place. We have collected lot of material evidence in the form of empty ammunitions. We have collected some other exhibits from the scene of crime which were taken over by the SIT from the possessions of the villagers in Oting village. A media appeal was made, a general appeal was made that any individual who was in possession of any original video or audio should be shared with the investigation team, and accordingly we have identified and collected few videos which were original in nature, not forwarded. After following due legal procedure, those evidences are taken on record and currently under cyber forensic analysis. We had also requested a team of 4 senior forensic scientific analysts from Central Forensic Science Laboratory, Guwahati and Hyderabad to come visit the scene of crime, reconstruct the entire events, examine various possibilities, and accordingly a team of CFSL from Guwahati and Hyderabad visited the scene of crime on 21st of December. They were there for 2 days, and after completing their analysis, we have forwarded the exhibits, the soil samples, the blood samples, the ammunitions, etc. to the CFSL labs in Guwahati and Hyderabad, and we are awaiting the reports from them. Similarly, the videos which were collected, extracted from the original source, are under currently the cyber forensic analysis, and we are awaiting the results. In the process of investigation, the SIT has examined 85 plus civilian witnesses, which included the injured people at Mon, Dimapur and Divulges, which also included various villagers, various officials from government, the drivers, etc. We issued notices under section 91 to the army officials for collection of the important documents. We have received the information from army on multiple questions that we had asked. It's still in process. After collecting those documents and after collecting the names and details of the personnel who were part of the operations, we had issued summons under section 160 CRPC, and accordingly, till date we have examined 37 various officers and other ranks of Army and Assam Rifles. Those statements have been recorded and they are a part of the recording. We have also recorded 2 statements of the surviving victims under section 164, that is statement to the judicial officers, and those are also a part of recording. As of now, this is the progress of the investigation, that I can say that by and large the field investigation in the form of recording of the statements of the witnesses, victims, etc. are over. The cyber forensics which were supposed to be done is under process now. We have collected multiple CDRs also of multiple phone numbers, CDR analysis is also biological. On the basis of the CDR analysis, further statements of other people were supposed to be recorded. Those are, lot of them are completed, some of them will be completed very soon. So as of now, this is the position of the investigation. We are awaiting the result from the forensic science lab from Guwahati and Hyderabad and from Millet, Kohima. As soon as we receive these reports, which are very crucial reports, we would be in a position to start preparing the final report, which would be submitted to the honorable court, competent court. As you can aware that criminal investigation is a technical legal procedure which is carried out under various provisions of CRPC, Chapter 12 of the CRPC. And once we complete the investigation, the final report will be submitted to the competent court, that is the special court. FIR is submitted to. So this is what my initial preliminary sharing of the information. I am open for questions. In case if you wish to have any questions, I will be more than glad. Thank you so much. Thanks once again for coming at such a short duration.
So some organizations have demanded for to make the investigation report public. Is it legal to do so?
See, FIR is registered under the provisions of the CRPC, section 54. Once the FIR is registered, it is submitted to the court of law. The result of the investigation, in any form, an investigating agency is supposed to share only with the court of law. So, putting it out in the public domain at this stage, when the investigation is not completed, I think is not legally tenable.
So how many days are you expecting for the forensic reports to be out, and since the time frame was only for a month, 30 days, and that has been lapsed, so just approximately how long will it take?
In fact, as I can say, the SIT has worked over the last 1 month at multiple locations, not only at Mon, but at various locations in Assam and Dimapur and a lot of other places. And I can I can say that we have worked against the time to complete the stage of investigation that we are in now. It would be very difficult for us to say how much time the FSL labs will take to complete the investigation, to submit the reports of the forensic analysis. One SP rank officer is constantly following up with the various forensic science lab. We have made a special request to them that looking at the sensitivity of the case, their scientific analysis be expedited and shared with the investigating team as soon as possible, so that we come to a final conclusion and a final investigation report be submitted to the honorable court of law.
So also this is the first time that we are witnessing that the army have actually allowed the state investigating team to investigate, to take statements from the Jawans. What has been the progress there? I mean, can you give us some light on that?
I can say that the army personnel, including the Assam Rifle personnel, have been cooperative with the SIT, and all those documents and other information that we have asked have been shared with the SIT. As far as examination of the personnel are concerned, as I said, we have issued summons in the 160 CRPC for their examination. We have examined them, which included the actual operation team, which have conducted the operation at Oting on 4th December 2021, which was led by a major rank officer, 2 GCOs and remaining others. It was 31. 28 others, not 31. Not 31 officials, which have participated in the operation team. Besides that, we have also examined few other officers, in all 37, both from Army and Assam Rifle, wherein one CO rank officer has been examined, one brigadier rank officer has been examined, and one other major rank officer has been examined. However, I would want to say this, that this was the examination, as you can understand and appreciate. Criminal investigation follows certain procedures laid down in the Criminal Procedure Code, and we have to follow the guidelines which have been already established as a principle of natural justice. We need to take into account all sides of the, all versions of the, all aspects of the case, and accordingly we have examined these officials. If required, after we receive the forensic analysis reports and other corroborative reports, if required, they will be asked to cooperate and join investigation again.